Alright, hey guys, Scout here. Today we're going to take a look at building a plane just with a turbojet engine and orbiting it around Kerbin at about 30 kilometers up. So we're going to do this with one of our saved games. Use a Korea one, why not? All the parts are there. It's actually very easy to do. A trap a lot of people fall into is they try and make them too big. Bigger is not always better, especially when you're curbling. So we're going to start with a Mark II cockpit. It's a very quick, simple build. Oh, excuse me. We'll put your longer of the two fuel tanks on there. Spin it round. Then you want your turbojet engine because they work much better at high altitudes. Oh, there we go. See, now we just launch this and you're done. Alright, let's put some other things on it first though. I'll put some advanced canyons on it because I just think they look really cool. That, and you're going to need these at the front so that you can keep your nose up. It's kind of a reverse setup, so these will be your elevators. And then we just want some swept wings. We don't want anything too complicated. We're going to keep it all nice and simple. And oh, if I can click on it, there's a tail fin. Preferably in the center. Well, it's just a preference, isn't it? I didn't have the angle snap on before, so I'll just reattach these. Alright, so there's your basic plane. There's a couple of other things that we'll need. We're going to get we've got structural fuselage. That can just sit on the wings there. We're going to want tri-coupler. Spin him around. That'll go there. Bum, 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 bum. No, I kind of like the look of these on the back. You don't need anything on the back here. It's just an extra part that you don't actually need, but I just like the look of those. We're going to offset it. Hey Jay, how you doing, mate? Just building a light, quick plane here that we're going to send around the planet. Alright, so we're going to need some air intakes. I know it's only got one engine, but if you want to get this thing to go right round the entire planet, you're going to need all of these intakes. Throw some wheels on the bottom so that we can land it again. Yeah, not doing too bad. No, I've just been watching a few streams and playing this on the other monitor. But everybody seems confused when you say you can put a little plane like this into orbit. So I thought I'll knock up a quick video and show everyone how it's done. That, and I've been meaning to stream a bit more. This gives me an excuse. Just make sure those are in the center. Right, now we're going to need some control surfaces. So, a rudder. Of course I did. Alright, throw in some ailerons. That's okay. I'm actually going to do up a highlight video, maybe put something on YouTube. But I appreciate you having a look. Thanks, mate. Always nice to get some support. How's the video coming through? Does it sound okay? Alright, so the next thing we want is center of weight, center of lift. And this rear adapter here, that's a sneaky one because it's actually a fuel tank. So as we're not running any jets, we'll take. Oh, it's good to hear, mate. Always nice to know it's working properly. So we're going to take all the oxidizer out of that. We don't even need any fuel in that, to be honest. So let's just get rid of that. So you can get right around the entire planet for about 140 units of fuel, and we're taking 600. So you know, you could fly around the planet 4 or 5 times with that. Wow. Actually, it'd be close. It would be close. So we'll bring our center of lift back to about there. That looks good, because as this fuel tank empties, the center of mass will slide backwards. So in order to keep control of it, okay. Alright, I can fix that. We can fix it. 2 secs. Right, let's see if that's working now. There we go. Up and running again. Alright, so I think that is all this little guy needs. So let's get him out on the runway. We'll see if he lives up to the hype. Thank you so much for the follow too. I appreciate that, mate. Power up. And away she goes. No, I don't need rockets. No, that's the whole point. I wanted to do it with just a normal aircraft. Takes off nicely. This little thing's actually quite agile. It turns really nicely. But we're going to try and keep it fairly straight, because we're going to come back and land on the runway after we fly around the world quickly. pop it up to 45 degrees. Climb that up to probably about 16. Take it up to 16,000 meters, 16 kilometers up, and we'll start leveling it off a bit. And these jets don't actually pick up any power until they get above 10,000, and they get a lot more after 20,000. Then about 32,000 meters up is when you get the acceleration you need to actually put it into orbit. The trick is not to go too high though, because of course as soon as you go above 40 you lose all the air to the engine and there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, it's a nice little plane. That's so we can see it. Somebody else said the only way you could do it with this paper aeroplane. I'm not sure what they mean by that. I think they just mean like a low parts aeroplane, which this is, but it looks like a jet to me. Yeah, it'd need rockets if we're going to sustain an orbit. That's right, it orbits in the atmosphere. So we'll be sitting at about 32,000 meters, and we'll pop the periapsis out on the other side to 32,000 meters as well. So it's an in-orbit, or rather in-atmosphere orbit. But then we'll let it drift up a little bit, and it'll hit about 200 kilometers up in outer space and coast right around the planet and hopefully land right back on the runway if it doesn't overshoot it. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, space is 70,000, but when you're going to pick up the kind of speed we intend to get, you'll end up hitting about 200,000 just because you're going that quick. So we're at 23 now. We'll level it off. Right off. We actually want to be doing about 1,800 meters a second at this altitude. Let that build up. And don't let the fuel gauge fool you. We haven't actually used any fuel. The reason why it's a bit low is because we emptied our tank. This plane really doesn't use any fuel at all. So it's important to build up a bit of speed here first. It's much harder to do it later. I'm starting to slow down a little bit. That means we need more altitude. Just a little. I just want to pop the nose up slightly. As you can see, our speed is actually going down now, and that's because of the altitude. The higher we get, the faster we go. So it's just finding that balance. There we go, starting to climb again. Vertical space parameters. Well, the entering atmosphere flames is all to do with friction, air friction. So air has volume or mass, just like everything else. And if you move through it quick enough, things get very hot. Sorry, 25. Still got to keep the nose up. When we get above 30 kilometers, 30,000 meters, that's when everything gets really delicate. So we try and keep it as close to level as we can, just so we can control it a bit better. Because when we hit about 32, if I can, it probably won't work, but if I can, I'll try and level it out completely so we have 0 climb, 0 descent. Alright, so I'll try and bring it back down. We're going to need about 2,400 meters a second, I think. Starting to get a bit high. Bring the nose down for me. Bring it down. 34, so let's see how that's doing. See, there's a periapsis at 17, 18, 19 and climbing. So we do have an orbit inside the atmosphere. There we go, periapsis 30. And we're 36, so, you know, that is just about a perfect orbit. Periapsis 32, still climbing. 33, we're doing 2,400 meters a second. The plane is pretty much leveled out. As you can see, we're still getting thrust from the engine. Even though we're at 38, 39,000 meters, the engine is still humming along. We check that again. We've got the periapsis up to 34, and the top end is up to 180 and still climbing. That's what I mean. You'll hit 200 kilometers up just with a turbofan engine, turbojet engine. So we're at 41 now, which the engine's still pushing at 42. How do you get it out of orbit? Well, that part happens all on its own. Because we don't have any rockets on this plane, we have no way to equalize the orbit above 70. So what will happen, we'll fly all the way up to 191, and then because we don't have any rockets, we can't keep it at 191, and we'll eventually drift back into the atmosphere. But this is such a fantastic little plane. Flies brilliantly. You pop yourself right around the world. May as well kill the jets now. If I had them on a control group, control group, I'd close all the intakes as well, because they actually create drag while they're open. You can shut those down and you get a smoother ride. But I haven't set up any control groups for this one. It was just a quick demo. Oh, we've got Jeb in the cockpit. Jeb and build. You can't go anywhere without Jeb. You say hi for the people. Hello. miss all the post-it notes. All the cockpits used to have post-it notes over them. You know, like, don't forget your lunch. Do not remove the duct tape. You used to be able to zoom in and read them all too. Now you just zoom in and it just goes really blurry. I don't know what happened there. You know, it's just like a man standing on a mountain. You can see the moon. You can reach out and touch it. Yeah, Jep's not doing too bad actually. I think he's got 3 or 4 stars. He can hold a course pretty well. This one's in career mode, so you've actually got to train them up a little bit. Ah, that was so frustrating when I started. I tried to repack all the parachutes and it tells me he's got to be a level 1 engineer before they can repack parachutes. So we're at 76,000 meters now, which means we are actually in outer space, in our little jet. But let's speed things up a bit. We get only 180, but that's still not bad. I think I was telling people you could push it up to 200, but that's 180. That's not too bad at all. The question is, how much are we going to overshoot the runway by? I'm going to do a full lap of the planet. Oh yeah, we can do an EVA. Where are we? 114? Send Bill out. Should have waited till we're in the sun to do it. There he is. Ooh, you even get 8 science for that. How about that? I wonder what altitude it'd be before he flew off. I'll pop him back in. Don't want to freak him out too much. Let's see if we can bring it back in to land on the runway. So there we go, 67 back in the atmosphere. Oh yeah, we can pop him out again. Whoa! Close one. Nearly lost him. Oh, 55,000. So we're already in the atmosphere. He would have hit pretty hard. Sorry, I didn't flick his lights on. But I was thinking about other things, to be honest. No, Bill is not lost. Bill's going to have stories to tell his grandkids, though. Why you don't jump out of an aeroplane in the first place. Alright, so let's see. Where the headquarters is. So where are we? I've got too many things on the screen. Alright, that should be nice actually. The headquarters is right about here. Unless I'm wrong. And we've got another ocean to glide over. Got the Planet Shine mod the other day. What do you reckon? It's the only mod I've got on it. All the rest is completely stock. But I wanted something just to boost the visual effects a bit. I was thinking about putting some clouds in there as well, but not sure. Alright, we'll straighten ourselves up. And that should, over there, hopefully, is where our base is. So at 35 now, which means we can restart the engines. Probably don't need to, probably just glide in from here. But we'll restart them anyway. See if we can see the Kerbal HQ. No, I think that's it. Which means we're going to have to dump a heap of speed, so we'll kill the engines. Yeah, that might be it up there. I'm so confused. What's my name? What's my job? Or is that it over there? It's on this coastline somewhere, I'm sure. Oh, I see a runway. We're way too high and going way too fast there. Yeah, deadly re-entry might be a problem. Still, we're coming in fairly shallowly. It's not a real big angle, might survive it. And no, I've never tried using that mod. I'll have to give it a go. Just to see what everybody's talking about. Well, we found our base. That's something. On a huge planet, we actually found it again. Should just kick Bill out here. At least he'll get home that way. Homely World War K doesn't happen. Sorry, I don't understand what you mean there. Oh, we should be going slow enough to turn this around now. Keep our descent happening. World War K. Yeah, I haven't heard of World War K. I'll have to have a look. I didn't give myself much of an approach, did I? Put the gear down. Bring the nose back up. A little bit of power on. Kill the power now. Ooh. I thought that was going to be just okay too. Well, they say anyone you can walk away from. This is why they get paid the big bucks. They slid right to their doorstep. I'm ready to go again. Bill wants out. Bill's had enough. He is out of there. Alright. So that is how to build a tiny little plane and have it orbit the world.